Welcome along then to Goal Time, your new and unique way to bet on football as we take a look at Sunday's matches. Manchester City take on Queen's Park Rangers and then Chelsea play Liverpool. Welcome on to Goal Time then, the fresh and exciting way to bet on football. 1, 2, 3 and 4 goal options, 40 different sections, 20 for the home side, 20 for the away side to predict when a goal will come, or as we say, you can predict 2, 3 and 4 goals for that possible £100,000 jackpot. Well, first up on Sunday, Manchester City take on Queen's Park Rangers. In a moment, Chris will give us the stats as to who's going to score and when, but a form guide, well, anybody will be able to tell you that City's form is better than Queen's Park Rangers is. Manuel Pellegrini's men, although they have conceded their title to Chelsea, they are pushing for the runners-up spot, and all that means, it means they don't have to qualify for a pre-qualifier for the Champions League, of course. They're fighting Arsenal for that. They'll need to keep winning. They've won 3 on the bounce of City. They haven't lost since going down in the Manchester derby in early April, so that little bit of blip that maybe cost them a title push has now gone. At home, they're going very well indeed, score lots of goals at home. They don't lose many at all, and they're up against a Queen's Park Rangers side who, for all intents and purposes, are preparing for life in the Championship. They've tried hard of QPR. Their away form has been absolutely woeful, though. 2 wins and 1 draw all season tells you everything you need to know about QPR on their travels. They don't score goals away from home. They don't pick up any points away from home. They're not that brilliant at home. And although things have improved of late, 1 win in 10 tells its own story. So City, for me, all the way. How many goals are going to score? Well, Chris will have that one.
Yeah, you can expect a few, can't you? Looking at the stats, the goals have flown in at the Etihad Stadium this season. They average 2.94 goals at home, City. And then you look at QPR, they have the worst defence in the league in terms of games away from home. So it should be a great one for Goal Time users. Look at the 3-goal option based on what we've just told you. As to when the goals will come, well, City, they've scored 16 times in the first half and 20 in the second half. There is a distinct bias towards the 61st to 75th minutes where 9 goals have come for City, though. That's sections 27 to 31 for the home side on Sunday. They've also scored in every time period, so maybe spread your selections out as well. Of course, with the 1-goal option, you can go right up until the final whistle. As for goals conceded, if they are going to concede, it's likely to be between the 61st and 75th minute, which for the away side is 28 to 32. They have got a very good record defensively at home. Before that game against Aston Villa, they'd won lots of games to 0. If QPR are going to score, well, you'd reckon it would probably come between minutes 31 to 45. That's their best time period. That's sections 14 to 20. Closely followed by that, 79 to 90 minutes. That's another good section for them. That will be goal time sections 34 to 40 if they are going to score. But it's worth noting they've only netted 18 times away from home this season. Definitely worth looking at City to score between the 31st and 45th minute. QPR are terrible in that period. They've conceded 12 goals in that time. That's sections 13 to 19. So I'd definitely look at City to score then. It should be something of a duck shoot for City, you'd think.
It should be, yes. So how many goals are going to go in? 1, 2, 3 or 4. Don't forget you can have multiple bets on multiple time slots. You don't just have to have one. Then you've got your 2, 3 and 4 goal options. Maybe this is a prime opportunity to go for that £100,000 jackpot and a 4-goal option with Goal Time. Moving on then on Goal Time to Sunday's tea time game, which is Chelsea, the champions, taking on Liverpool. Chris has got the form guide.
Yeah, champions Chelsea now, isn't it, after they secured the title last weekend with victory over Crystal Palace. Was there ever any doubt about them winning the league title this season? Probably not. They've been top for such a long time. It's going to be interesting to see how they approach the remainder of the season now, though, having wrapped up the league title, and they face a Liverpool side who have still got something to play for. Their victory over QPR last weekend, coupled with Manchester United's defeat to West Brom, means they still have an outside chance of finishing in the top 4. The just 4 points behind United. But it's a very difficult ask for Liverpool. Chelsea have the best home record in the league. They've dropped just 6 points at home all season. They've not lost on their own patch in the league at home. And they're unbeaten in the last 7 meetings against Liverpool as well. The Reds' last tasting victory at Stamford Bridge back in 2012. They're also brilliant defensively, aren't they, Chelsea? Conceded just once in the last 5 games. John Terry has been superb at the back, and it's no surprise to see them top the table in terms of goals conceded this season. Well, Liverpool, as I say, they've got an outside chance of finishing in the top 4. That would relieve some pressure on Brendan Rodgers. Of course, there was a banner flown over Anfield after the game against QPR, or before the game against QPR, with Rafa in, Rodgers out. If he can finish in the top 4, though, that would relieve that pressure. They have the 5th best away record in the league, Liverpool, so nothing to be sniffed at, but they have struggled on their recent travels. They lost away at Hull last time they left Anfield. They are missing Daniel Sturridge as well, so goals, they're looking a little bit difficult to come by for the Reds, aren't they? Mario Balotelli is really struggling, as is Ricky Lambert. When are the goals going to come? Are we going to get many goals? Nick can tell us.
I think I'd score more than Balotelli. Anyway, these games do tend to be tight, with 68% of the games producing less than 2.5 goals per game. But of course, the pressure's off this one, so it might not be that way. Chelsea scored in every single home league game this season. They've got the 2nd best offensive record in the division, obviously going very well at Stamford Bridge. Goals have been fairly evenly spread out, though, for the Blues this season. They tend to start and finish strongly in games, scoring 14 times in the first 15 minutes of games, while they've netted 15 times in the final 15 minutes of games. So look at goal time sections 1 to 5 and then 33 to 39 for Chelsea to score. They're also very strong defensively in the second half of games, conceding just 3 times all season. That's a great record. Well, as for Liverpool, well, they tend to end games strongly. 26.5% of the goals they've scored between the 75th and 90th minute they come. That will be goal time sections 34 to 40 on Sunday. Away from home, Liverpool have a decent record in the first 15 minutes of games as well. That's goal times 2 to 6. Liverpool, though, are poor between the 31st and 45th minute away from home, failing to score in that period and conceding the majority of their goals in that time. So perhaps look at Chelsea to score then in sections 13 to 19. They obviously go to sleep just before the break. It's goals 1, 2, 3 or 4 for you to pick from on goal time. 1 goal, you can go with 40 different time segments. 4 goals gives you the possibility of £100,000 with goal time.